It was just ridiculous. It's not often that you're watching the WNBA or that I'm watching it and I'm like, wow, I've just never seen this before.
Buddy, imagine this. A commissioner blinded by authority, a fan base pushed so far they finally snapped, and 3 players, Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexi, locking arms as chaos consumes the league around them. Right now, the WNBA is staring down the biggest scandal in its history. Over 2,000 fans have officially declared a boycott for the 2026 season, and the count is rising at an explosive pace. Insiders say Kathy Engelbert stormed out of league headquarters in sheer panic. Sponsors' phones won't stop ringing. Adam Silver is livid, and the WNBA is...
As for what Engelbert is alleged to have said to Collier, if she actually suggested Caitlin Clark should be grateful for what she makes off the court, that's preposterous. Did you miss the Iowa years? Clark is the Tiger Woods tide that lifts all boats. And we know this show is proof. The highest rating we have ever had followed one of her games at Iowa. The WNBA has benefited from her presence more than the other way around, even though this year for Caitlin Clark was essentially lost to injury.
Welcome to a story they never wanted exposed. What you're about to see is WNBA history unraveling in real time. If you're here, you're watching it happen live. Like, subscribe, and speak up. Boycott 2026 if you stand with Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexi. It all began when a private players group chat was leaked. Reports claim Kathy instructed Caitlin Clark to stop taking part in outside activities, especially golf. But it didn't stop there. Sophie and Lexi were also warned, facing threats of suspension, benching.
Then the high tide lifts all boats or whatever, basically. Like, if you buy into this, everybody is going to eat. Yet you had people fighting tooth and nail the entire season, not wanting it to be this way because other people weren't getting flowers, or she was getting too much attention, or she gets a special whistle, or I'm gonna check her off the ball here just because. And then her teammate cheers for her for throwing her on the ground. It didn't get better. And it's disappointing to me because it's not every player in the WNBA. And I'm sure that there are many players who are happy to have her in the league. And it's like, if it was my league and somebody was coming in and bringing millions of people, like, I would be excited about that, because you know what? That's a chance for me to impress millions of people who weren't watching before. And there's a lot of women in this league who don't have that kind of envy and jealousy and this kind of like secret club mentality that they only want certain people to be a part.
The locker room fell silent. Caitlin said quietly, "We can't even play golf. We can't even live normal lives." The words traveled fast. And for the first time ever, Caitlin Clark, the league's brightest light, felt trapped. Sophie and Lexi stayed right beside her. They made it clear, if you suspend her, we're gone too. 3 sisters, 3 teammates, 3 fan favorites. And Kathy chose the worst possible time to ignite a battle. The moment the warning hit social media, chaos followed. One single fan post passed 1.2 million views. Suspend Caitlin and we suspend the WNBA. Reddit went wild. Instagram flooded. TikTok caught fire. The fans weren't just upset.
Would be holding the players back from saying, yes, we agreed to an extension. Let's try to iron out this deal so there is no lockout. Right? They'll still be able to negotiate if there's a lockout. However, players won't be able to head to the facility. They won't be able to get treatment. They won't be able to train with the team, with the staff. So there is some things to lose if there is a lockout. Sources: WNBA offers players extension on CBA deadline. The WNBA has offered players a 30-day extension to continue negotiations for a new collective bargaining agreement, sources told ESPN on Tuesday. An extension before the current CBA expires Friday would allow both sides more time to negotiate a new deal.
They had enough. They remembered phantom whistles, deliberate hits, Caitlin sidelined for safety, threats made over a simple golf outing, players warned just for showing up. Then the unthinkable happened. Over 400,000 fans signed a boycott as the number exploded every minute. This wasn't casual outrage. Families walked away. Kids stepped back. Friends drew lines. The anger didn't fade. It hardened into legacy. Within hours, sponsors saw the numbers. No dilas. No talks. They went straight to Kathy. Lose Caitlin, lose us. One major sponsor reportedly said, "This isn't a league issue. This is a Kathy issue." Suddenly, league offices flooded with emails, then calls, then withdrawals, funds pulled, budgets frozen, brands ready to exit permanently. The WNBA finally understood. This wasn't drama.
That question, which raises some sensitivities of rivalries between players. In the case of Angel Reese, who's just had to shut it down because of a wrist injury, Caitlin Clark, who's continuing to play. Rivalry that goes back to their college days, presumably, where I guess some trash talking entered in. But now it seems on some social media channels to have taken a darker turn, a more menacing turn, where race has been introduced into the conversation, where sexuality is sometimes introduced into the conversation. How do you try and stay ahead of that, try and tamp it down, or act as a league when two of your most visible players are involved, not personally, it would seem, but their fan bases are involved?
This wasn't a simple controversy. This was a financial cardiac arrest. Kathy's decisions were draining the league live in real time. When the boycott number hit 210,000, Adam Silver finally snapped. He stormed into the office, slammed a binder onto the table and said, "Fix this now or step aside." The room went dead quiet. Kathy froze. Color drained from her face. Silver demanded answers. Why are you threatening players for living their lives? Why are you singling out Caitlin? Why are her teammates being warned? She tried to speak, stumbled over excuses. He didn't listen. He said it flatly. No one is stopping golf. No one is getting suspended. No one is being fired. Then things took a wild turn. The assistant commissioner leaned in and whispered something. Silver stood up, shook his head, and walked out. No debate. No resolution. Just pure, historic frustration. Inside Fever headquarters, phones were vibrating nonstop. 400,000 boycotts. Caitlin stared at the screen in disbelief. Sophie squeezed her hand. Lexi wrapped her arms around both of them. Caitlin whispered, "They're doing this for us." Sophie replied, "Then we don't fold." Lexi nodded, saying it at the same time. Meanwhile, the WNBA offices were in chaos. Staff members were crying. Phones wouldn't stop ringing. Emails flooded in. Sponsors froze deals. Executives hid behind closed doors. And Kathy, she was shaking. No plan. No allies. No escape. Reality hit her hard. You can't fight your fans. You can't threaten your stars. You can't control people. And the fans finally reclaimed their league. By nightfall, boycott estimates crossed 1 million when families were counted. Kathy's chair sat empty. Her office door locked. She refused to speak. The league lost. Sponsors, credibility, fans, money, stability, control, everything. All because she went after Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexi, the very players she should have protected. The WNBA didn't just lose athletes that day. It lost trust.